like, comment, and subscribe for more content. What's up, guys? Welcome to this edition of a Funko Podcast. I'm DK Wrestler.
And I'm MD Shady.
And today we got quite a bit of decent Funko Pop announcements. There's not so much, but there still is a pretty decent amount. Today we also have the return of our segment, Quentin Quarantino, or as I would like to call it now, What's the Haps? Which I'll get into that in a little bit if you guys are new to the podcast. But besides the pop announcements for the past couple of weeks, because last week we did do a K-Dog and Fish podcast, or we had them as guests on our podcast, which thank you to everyone who had listened to that podcast. Greatly appreciated. And thank you to K-Dog and Fish who had promoted it a lot, especially on their 4 o'clock Friday live stream, their K-Dog and Fish After Dark YouTube stream that they did to celebrate 1,000 subscribers. Greatly appreciated. They even mentioned on their 4 o'clock Friday, I forgot to mention it to you, but they mentioned about your perfect spot-on impression of Little Nicky during the podcast. They brought that up.
Did they talk about that?
Yeah, and they also added a little story actually too. There was an extended part to the story about when they said that they got the smuggler's bounty to their hotel.
Okay, yeah.
So I guess like from what I remember, like when they got the pop, they went into an elevator right after to go to their hotel room. There was, I guess, a German on the elevator with them, and they seen the box that just said smuggler's bounty. And I guess like the German guy asked him, like, "Are you guys a smuggler?" K-Dog would be better at explaining, but that's all I could remember from that. But anyways, we're going to kick off with What's the Haps, formerly known as Quentin Quarantino, which is where we talk about what we've been doing pretty much the last couple of weeks or last week or so, whether it's movies, we've watched TV shows. But what's the haps with you, MD? What have you been doing lately? I know that you started work again last week.
Yeah, that's exactly where I was going to start off. Started back up at work, which is amazing. It feels good to be back. We started with just our patio, and we're a mall restaurant. So we're located at the front entrance of our local mall. We couldn't extend our patio, so that kind of sucked. So we only have 4 tables on the patio, plus we're doing takeout. So honestly, we're not super busy, but it's better than I thought it was going to be. I thought we were going to be pretty dead. So we've been considerably busy, I guess, just good enough so we can stay open. But today just got announced that I believe this Friday we can open up the restaurant to 50% capacity on the inside because we are now going into stage 3, which is awesome to hear. I don't know if it's a little too soon for that or not, but it'll be great to be a little busier at work. Besides the work-related things, I actually haven't even turned Netflix or anything on in quite some time. It's been I'd say it's been about a week and a half since the last thing I was watching was The Office. But I've just been on YouTube a lot recently, just watching a bunch of different things, some pop-related stuff, like Top Pops, obviously, and ADHD's Life. And then for games, honestly, I haven't been playing that much either. I actually was over at a buddy's house the other day, and I played Fortnite for the first time in so long. I actually managed to get a kill, and I came like 40th place. So for someone who doesn't play Fortnite, that wasn't too bad, I guess. I'm still not the hugest fan, but I've been thinking about re-downloading it. But I have been playing a lot of Pokemon Go. Yesterday was Community Day, and man, so great because it was Ghastly. My favorite Pokemon is Gengar, so a Community Day for Ghastly is awesome. I managed to get 6 shiny Ghastlies, and one of them was actually 420 CP, and his name is Ghastly. So I thought that was kind of funny.
So as we're recording this, it is Monday, July 20th. As this podcast gets released, we will be going into stage 3, which I'm excited for the fact that I'm pretty sure gyms are a part of stage 3. So that means Friday, I'm going to be getting my first workout in. I don't know how long it's been. So I already know going into it that I'm probably going to have to wear a mask while working out, which is going to suck because it's going to be hard to breathe a little bit, but it is what it is. But yeah, what's the haps with me? I tried to write as much as possible from the last couple of weeks. First things first, I finished both Star Wars: The Clone Wars and Rebels. The ending to Clone Wars was all right. I mean, it was cool that they had Darth Vader in it. Spoiler alert. I mean, I shouldn't have really said that because it's still fairly new, but YOLO. And then Rebels was all right. I kind of, in a way, felt that Rebels was better than Clone Wars, only because of the fact that, like, throughout the Clone Wars series, it's just been, like, cringy to see, like, Anakin was a Jedi Master, but the whole thing about Revenge of the Sith, like I'd mentioned a couple podcasts ago, was that he turned to the dark side was because he couldn't be a Jedi Master and approved by the Jedi Council. So, like, throughout the series, it's just like, how is this going to end, though? But Rebels is just a complete new storyline, new characters. I like the majority of the characters. And then there was that wicked, wicked scene with Darth Vader and Ahsoka battling, and it was so awesome. I watched season 4 of F is for Family. So funny. I honestly think that was the best season of F is for Family that they've done. So good. And this movie, actually, MD mentioned about it, and I ended up watching, is that new Eurovision movie with Will Ferrell. I
Oh,
watched that.
yes.
I actually, when I was riding my bike today to the mall to look at some pops, the first thing that I thought about with Eurovision in my head is that one random guy that kept yelling, saying, "Play Ya Ya Ding Dong." So that's all I don't care about any of the other songs. We just want to hear Ya Ya Ding Dong. And then other movies I could think of that I watched, Groundhog Day with Bill Murray. Really good movie, honestly. It's actually one of Bill Murray's best movies, I could say. It's one of those movies where I watched it for the first time and I am willing to just watch it again if, like, I have nothing else to watch. I watched The Longest Yard with Adam Sandler, or I should say it's more of the remake, because I think there's an original one made in the 70s, and then they did the remake with Adam Sandler, and it has, like, I think Goldberg, Great Khali, Stone Cold is in the movie. They have
Yep.
a bunch of, like, cool actors and wrestlers that were, oh, and Kevin Nash. Kevin Nash was in it. His character was funny. But yeah, I watched that. And then this past Friday, new Netflix series Cursed dropped, and I was pumped about that. It's not too bad. I don't know exactly how I'd explain the plot. I guess I would say it's like watching Game of Thrones, except there's no Starbucks cup sitting in the background during a scene. So, but no, jokes aside, it was pretty good, honestly. But I wouldn't say it was great. I think a lot of the episodes, they kind of dragged a little too long. There's 10 episodes, and they were ranged between like 48 minutes to an hour. But I felt like it would have been a little bit better if they did like 8 episodes, like Stranger Things, and made them like 45 minutes max. I think then it would have been great. But overall, it was pretty good for me, who wasn't really interested in like a Game of Thrones / Witcher-esque show. But yeah, that's basically the Haps for the last couple of weeks. We'll move on and not bore you guys out. But anyways, let's move on to some Funko Pop announcements. So these announcements start from July 7th all the way until July 17th. So I know there's probably going to be some Funko Pop announcements throughout the week that we are going to miss specifically for this week. But anyways, we have a pop rides of the Jungle Cruise, and this was exclusive to the Disney shop. This is available now. It was announced by Funko, I should have mentioned. Then Pop in a Box had announced their own exclusive Funko Pop of Chip blowing bubbles from Beauty and the Beast. And this is available for pre-order now, and it's expected to release as early as September 2020. Then Funko announced the next pop in the Pop Around the World lineup, which is Toshi, and it's representing Japan. And this actually sold out on the Funko shop, so you can't get it on the Funko shop. Hot Topic then announced their own Pop and Tea bundle of a glow-in-the-dark Death of the Family Joker, in which this is available now to order on the website. It did sell out at one point, but now there was a restock, and I think it's still available as we record this. Then we got ourselves, Funko had announced the third of 6 pops for the Battle at Echo Base Empire Strikes Back Pop Deluxe set, and this is a flocked Chewbacca. This is available for pre-order now, and it's expected to release as early as September 2020. Then, confirmed on the Funko app, we have another version of the big boy with sunglasses that is a Funko Hollywood exclusive, which this is available now at Funko Hollywood. Then announced by Spirit Halloween, but later on in the week announced by Funko themselves, they have announced a Billy Butcherson exclusive pop from Hocus Pocus, which this is available for pre-order now and is expected to release as early as September 2020. Then confirmed on the Funko app, but later announced by Funko during the week also, is 2 new Sour Patch Kid Funko Pops, which we have Strawberry Sour Patch Kid and Grape Sour Patch Kid. These are It Sugar exclusives, and they were available last week, but they have sold out since I've last checked. I don't know if there is a restock as of late. The Jungle Cruise Pop Deluxe. This is pretty cool, honestly. Not knowing what exactly is. I'm assuming it's some sort of ride in Disney World or Disneyland, one of the two. But I know a lot of people did buy this. Then we got the chip blowing bubbles, which is super detailed, honestly, especially the bubble portion of this. I love this facial expression with Chip blowing the bubbles, how like his eyes are closed and like the cheeks are blowing out. That's really cool. I know a lot of people were excited and super hyped for this pop. Then we go on to Toshi from Japan in the Pop Around the World lineup. This is pretty cool. I like the outfit involved with this. I was expecting, though, and I was going to mention when we talked about whatever the last one was last month, that it would have been cool that on July 1st, because it landed on a Wednesday, that the Funko Shop drop of that day, which there wasn't one because that was SDCC exclusives for day 3, should have been the Douglas, the Beaver as the Mountie for Canada, and it would have made sense to drop it on Canada Day. But from what I've seen of the back of these boxes, they have actually been going in order by numerical order of how these pops are getting released. And this is pop number 7, I believe, and number 8 is Douglas. So in August, we will be getting Douglas, the Beaver, for Canada released on the Funko Shop, which pretty pumped for that. Then we got the Death of the Family Pop and Tea bundle, which I like the stuff that glows. Like it's the green eyes, the green hair, and the yellow eye, which that's pretty cool. The pop already is detailed. I was a huge fan of when this got released last year, being the normal one. And overall, the pop, the shirt, and the box are pretty good. I don't know what to choose on what would be the best of like the 3 components, whether it's the box, the shirt, or the pop itself. All of them are wicked. Then we got Chewbacca, which this looks wicked, honestly. And I was pumped to hear this was flocked because I wasn't expecting that this was going to be flocked. The detail, especially with Chewbacca's mouth, so good. And this is a great Chewbacca to buy. If you're looking for a Chewbacca for some reason, if you don't have one yet, this is the Chewbacca to get. I think it's awesome. The Big Boy, it's all right. I mean, it's just a remake of like previous Big Boy's body, but you just add sunglasses to it. The original, there was another Funko Hollywood exclusive Big Boy, which it was like the remake of like the super, super rare San Diego Comic-Con Big Boy with like the burger in his hand, except it had sunglasses. This is just like what would be the common Big Boy from today that you would see available in stores. And then it has a pair of sunglasses on. That's basically what it is. Still all right, though. I'm sure a lot of Ad Icons fans are going to want to get this. Now, Billy Butcherson. This is not too bad of a pop. I'm very happy, though, that we are getting more Hocus Pocus pops instead of your usual, was it Mary, Winifred, and Sarah or whatever? I can't exactly remember the names of the 3 witches. I think those are them, though, honestly. But this is really cool, honestly, expanding on more characters. And I'm sure Hocus Pocus fans are super excited to get this pop. And then lastly, for this portion, the Sour Patch Kids Funko Pops, which I didn't expect them to make any more Sour Patch Kids. I mean, maybe because there are more than just like the 5 flavors that they had only provided us last year. I'm sure that you are going to be a fan of the purple one because you like purple and it's grape, and grape is delicious. And the strawberry one is not too bad. When I actually seen the photo of the pop itself, it's a little bit lighter than what you see in this, but it's still cool that they're kind of expanding on the original pop candy lineup and not like the newer pop candy lineup that has like the hollow pop with the candy inside of it. So, yeah.
So yeah, starting off with the Jungle Cruise. This is actually a really funny pop because back in the end of February, right before all this quarantine stuff happened, one of my coworkers actually went to Disney and he was in line for this ride. And then I noticed on the news or whatever, like on like a Facebook article, that one of these rides actually sank while he was in line for it, and like he didn't even know about it. And I messaged him, and then he said like, I literally just got off that ride. Like, that's hilarious, right? It's really funny how one of these sank and he just happened to be in line, and now there's a pop of it, which is pretty cool. Then the chip blown bubbles. This thing looks awesome. Those bubbles look so good. I don't know what they're gonna look like in person, but from this photo, it really looks like they're going to be super cool, like a little bit translucent with like some different colors going through it, which looks so accurate, so realistic. And then the facial expression looks amazing as well. And of course, you kind of have that kind of metallic-y gold paint on there, which looks really, really cool. I'm kind of considering getting this pop, even though I don't really collect the Beauty and the Beast pops, but this one looks awesome. Then the pop around the world pop. One thing about this pop is that because it's an animal dressed up as like a samurai, it really reminds me of the Ninja Turtles 3 movie that came out back in like the early 90s or the late 80s. It really, really reminds me of that. Then the Flock Chewbacca, that looks really, really great as well. I do think I'll be picking this one up. For some reason, I don't have a Chewbacca pop. I don't believe, at least. And Chewbacca's my favorite character from Star Wars of all time, so I definitely need to get this pop. The Joker, it's all right. I don't know. I wasn't a huge fan of this pop when it first came out, and now it's glow in the dark, and I don't think there's enough going for it that it needs to be glow in the dark, but I can understand why it is. The box is kind of minimalistic to me, but there's not a whole lot you can do with the Joker besides having a dark box, and then obviously you can see there's like the laughing on the sides of it. So that's all right. I do think the t-shirt is the best thing with this bundle here. It's a pretty good t-shirt. Then the Bob's Big Boys. I actually picked up the common version of this pop just a week ago, so it's kind of cool to see that there's this one, but I'm not really a fan of the whole sunglasses thing. But I'm also glad that that's what they're doing for the Funko Hollywood pops, because if it was new pops that we were getting there, that would really suck for us in Canada. The Hocus Pocus pop, this is really cool. Looks alright, but my favorite part about it is that there should be a Spirit Halloween sticker on it, and I don't have a pop with Spirit Halloween sticker on it, so maybe this will be the one that I get to get that sticker. And then probably one of my favorite announcements so far this month is the Sour Patch Kids. Yeah, I do really love that purple one. The pink one's pretty cool too. A couple of weeks ago, before these were even released, I saw someone. It's a channel that I just came across on YouTube recently. Funko Kings or something they're called. Funko Kingdom or something. It's a dad and his son, and they do like mystery unboxings and stuff like that with pops. It's a pretty cool channel. So I saw these on their video before they even got announced, and yeah, these are awesome. The one thing that sucks about getting these, though, is that it just makes me want to get that green Sour Patch Kid even more, and that is very, very expensive now, so that really sucks. But one day I will have all three of those in my collection.
All right, so the next set of Funko Pops that we're going to talk about here. So, kicking off, we have a Funko Shop drop on July 15th of Johnny Quest. So, we got Johnny Quest with Bandit as a little 2-for-1 deal, and we got Hadji. I don't know if that's how you pronounce the name. Haven't really even seen the show, but that was released obviously July 15th at 11 a.m. PST, 2 p.m. EST, and sold out in like 5 minutes. So, these aren't available now on the Funko Shop. Then we got ourselves, announced by Funko, our breast cancer awareness DC characters, which we got Harley Quinn, Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman. And these are expected to release as early as September 2020. Then announced by Funko is Artist Series Batman Pops, which we got 4 different variants, which all of them are exclusive to Target and were available for pre-order, but have since been sold out online. But anyways, we got ourselves blue camo, black and yellow, blue and yellow, and kind of like an orangey color with a bunch of cool designs on it for the Batman Pops, in which these are expected to release in stores as early as November 2020. And then Pop in a Box had announced another exclusive because in the month of July, it actually marked, I think, their 6-year anniversary as a company. So they dropped a bunch of exclusives, including that Mayhem Pop that we talked about a few weeks ago. So this is Ironheart. And this Pop also has a 1 in 6 Chase variant, which this is available for pre-order now. And this is expected to release as early as November 2020. And then we have announced what could be the most hyped set of Pops of the week. We have Pokemon Pops, which we have 5 different Pokemon Pops. We got a new version of Eevee. We got all 3 Gen 1 Evolution Pops of Flareon, Jolteon, and Vaporeon, along with the first 18-inch Pokemon Pop, that being Pikachu, of course. And these are available for pre-order at certain retailers, but are expected to release as early as October 2020. And then we have here separate pops from the Amazon 5-pack of the Disney Archives pops of Mickey Mouse's. We have Classic, Sorcerer, Beanstalk, Plain Crazy, and just normal Mickey Mouse, all 5 separate pops. And these will be commons and these will be released as early as October 2020. And then the last pop we're going to talk about today, before we talk about our future of fandom-related podcasts, we have, I don't know if I'm going to pronounce his name right, but Gaara from Naruto. This is a metallic pop, and this was confirmed on the Funko app, so there's no official date yet of when this is going to get released. All right, so Johnny Quest. These were actually kind of not leaked, but someone had taken a photo at Funko HQ or Hollywood that these were accidentally put on the shelves like a week or two prior to it. So they seen that, and then they had to pull them off the shelves probably when they tried checking them out. These are all right, not knowing what Johnny Quest is. I know people are probably going to bash on me because I think it's it's one of those like nostalgic cartoons, kind of like Dexter or Johnny Bravo from what I've read. The breast cancer awareness DC characters, these are pretty cool. And I think it was stated that Funko had already donated, I think it was $250,000 to Breast Cancer Research Foundation. I think it was stated in the article. And I love the Batman one the best, honestly. And I think that it's really cool the way it looks, especially the different tones of color involved with it. The one I don't like, the one that I least like, is Harley Quinn, only because we've already seen this kind of variant of Harley Quinn by itself, even as the Diamond Collection for Hot Topic just in the last year or two. And then the Superman one looks really cool too. That'd be the second favorite out of mine. So like least favorite to favorite would obviously have to be Harley Quinn, Wonder Woman, Superman, and then Batman being the best. And then the Artist Series Batman Pops, which these are pretty cool in their own ways. I feel like the black and yellow, no pun intended to the song, and the blue and yellow Batman Pops, obviously quite a bit of detail, but it's like too much going on. Like it's super distracting to me. I think my favorite one would have to be the orange one because it's got that 60s feel to it. It's obviously got like the Batman animated logo, and especially with the color scheme. But I know a lot of people did like the blue camo one. Ironheart, this is an all right pop for not knowing like what Ironheart is. Obviously, I kind of figured that's what would have ended up being glow in the dark. It's just basically anything that's white and like the blue, I guess, flame coming out of, I would assume, like the jet pack or jet boots for this character. I'm kind of excited to see what the glow in the dark is in person for this pop. All right, we got Pokemon, which got to catch them all. So Eevee, it's all right. I mean, I know they're jumping the Eevee bandwagon because even you, MD, have mentioned on a bunch of podcasts that like they're making Eevee kind of like the secondary mascot for Pokemon. So they're probably pumping up the Eevee merch also. And that's explaining why there's the Eeveelutions for this. So we got Flareon, which I love Flareon. This is probably my personal favorite just because I feel it looks identical to Flareon. Jolteon is a little bit awkward. When I first heard about these, I felt like they could have pulled off Jolteon as the best Eeveelution pop, but I feel like this is kind of like the least favorite out of the three, and especially people don't like the way the eyes look. They should have done like different eyes for this. And then Vaporeon. Vaporeon looks sick, and I like it because it's basically a different sculpt to the other three Eevee pops you're looking at. And you even got like the detail with the tail, which is really nice. Vaporeon looks wicked, and a lot of people are hyped for that. 18-inch Pikachu, which I'm a little surprised in a way that they used this Pikachu, which was the original 4-inch and 10-inch Target exclusive Pikachu, instead of using what I would assume would have been the waving Pikachu, because that was more of a common. And now this will be a common, and I'm kind of excited to see what this looks like in person. The only thing I don't like about 18-inch pops, though, I like how they've made 18-inch pops and like how cool it almost looks as life-size characters, but they don't have windows. You can't see it like you would see a 10-inch pop or a normal 4-inch pop. It's just this box, and once you open the box, then it's meant to be an out-of-box pop is basically where I'm trying to get at, because it's just a normal box and you don't have that cool window like you usually do with normal pops. Then we got the Mickey Mouse pops. Why? Like, I'm saying why, not as in like it's terrible, but it's like they just announced a 5-pack of this, and now they're announcing normal pops. The 5-pack is so much cooler for the aspect of what they're doing. They're drawing the next character, but now it's like, what's even the point of having them with the pencil? Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, man. And then the Naruto pop, it's all right. There's not really many differences with it being metallic, except I think they actually added an outline to the eyes. And that's about it from what I remember looking at this pop. Maybe like whatever's going on in the background there is a little bit darker, but that's about it.
All right, yeah, there's definitely some good pops, and there's some bad pops for sure this week. So starting with the Johnny Quest, like you said, it definitely is a nostalgic show, but not in the sense of Dexter's Laboratory or Johnny Bravo, because this show came out in 1964, if you didn't know that. These Johnny Quest pops are pretty cool. As soon as I seen this, it was kind of like you said, it was nostalgic. I was like, wow, this is a cool 2-pack, because you get like 3 pops, which you don't really see very often. The breast cancer pops, these kind of speak for themselves. They're pretty cool. It's a good idea, obviously, for a good cause. And I would agree with you that Batman is really, really nice. I know that there's going to be a lot of people that want to get these, especially people who are full Batman collectors. Speaking of more Batman, we have these Artist Series ones. I really love the blue camo one. I think that one is definitely the best. And then I would have to say the orange one because I love that Batman logo. And then the black and the blue one. They're all right. I understand why they kind of went with that theme, but I definitely like the blue camo and the orange one's the best. The Ironheart, this is an all right pop. Moving on to Pokemon, why are we getting another Eevee? I mean, I guess you summed it up. But I just don't think we needed that. I think we should have got a different Pokemon in place of there. I don't know what exactly would be better to go with the evolutions. I'd be more happy with a Ditto Pop, just a very simplistic Ditto Pop rather than a new Eevee. And even if they did a Ditto, like they could even do like a variant Ditto of like clear pink, which I think would look possibly pretty cool for a Ditto Pop. But we have evolutions, which is awesome. Obviously, evolutions are going to sell very, very well because evolutions are a lot of people's favorite parts of Pokemon. The Flareon, it does look really good. I do like that one. The Jolteon, like you said, it is awkward. It's really, really weird looking. I think what it is mostly is kind of like the tufts on the side of the face. I think those should be a lot more sharp because Jolteon definitely has obviously like a lightning bolt kind of look to him. So I think it should be more sharp rather than it kind of just looks like some fur on the sides of the face. So I think that's where they went wrong with this pop, but I'll still be getting it, obviously. And then we have my boy, Vaporeon, my favorite evolution, and this one looks great, man. The tail looks awesome. The fins and everything looks so great. Might be one of my favorite Pokemon pops so far until we maybe eventually, hopefully, see a Gengar. Then the 18-inch Pikachu. This is awesome. I've really, really been wanting to get an 18-inch pop, and now I finally have the opportunity to get one that I actually want. Pikachu's awesome. I can't wait. And I don't mind it not having a window on the box because I'd be taking this out of the box anyways to display it. 18-inch pops I think are awesome, and to get a Pikachu one is perfect for me. So I'm really, really happy about that. Then we're moving on to the 5-pack of these new Mickey Mouse pops. It makes sense and it doesn't make sense that they're doing this. The reason why it doesn't make sense is because of, obviously, like you said, they're drawing each one. So when you have that 5-pack where they're all connected, it looks really, really good. I could see why they're doing singles because some people might really, really like, let's say, for instance, I'd say my favorite one is the Fanastasia Mickey. And maybe if I didn't want to buy that 5-pack, I'd want to get that pop singularly. But at the same time, I really, really like the 5-pack, and I think that's the way to go, no matter what. And then the Naruto pop of Gaara. This is all right. There's some good detail there.
All right, so now it is the segment where we talk about the future of our fandom related podcast. So, those brand new to the podcast, here and there, we do what we call fandom related podcasts, where it'll be a podcast just on one certain fandom. So far, we've done Yu Gi Oh!, Empire Strikes Back, and just a few weeks ago, we did Back to the Future. And now we're going to talk about basically what's going to happen with fandom related podcasts. First, fandom related podcasts, if you're thinking, is it going to be the end after the next one? No, it is not. I think it's going to be just the beginning. And I think, as I guess people would say, as a saying nowadays, is that it's going to be the new norm. Like, I think it's going to be such a normal thing for us to do fandom related podcasts. And I think it would be good because, especially, not everyone wants to keep hearing about Funko Pop announcements every week. So it's kind of a change of pace, and a good change of pace to just have like a little break from that. And then, like, let's say, oh, well, they're going to talk about this week. And yes, we are going to have another one very soon. And to add on to that, at least for 2020, there will be one fandom-related podcast a month for the remainder of 2020. Some will be movies, some will be TV shows, and actually we will announce it probably the week after we do our next fandom-related podcast, that the September one will actually be about an actor. So it won't even be about a TV show or a movie. It will be just on one individual and their career. So that's going to be really cool. Obviously, details for that will happen after our next one. But we will be announcing right now our next fandom-related podcast. Our next fandom-related podcast will be Scott Pilgrim versus the World. That's right. And this will happen on episode 51, Friday, August 14th, the day after Scott Pilgrim versus the World celebrates its 10th anniversary of when it was released in theaters. You guys probably would have seen on our Instagram page, we had a bunch of hints going on, like number one, it's a movie. Number two, it's about music and video games. And then the third one, that two actors and actresses in the movie would later be seen in MCU movies. You had Chris Evans in the movie, who played Lucas Lee, and you would know him as Captain America. And then you had Envy Adams, who was played by Brie Larson, which you would know as Captain Marvel. I can't wait for this podcast. That's 3 weeks from today's podcast release that podcast will be released. Pretty excited for that. It's going to be great. We're going to talk about the pops, of course, the movie, our ups and downs of the movies, and what pops we want to see next from the Scott Pilgrim versus the World lineup. All right, guys, so that's going to be the end of this week's podcast. If you enjoyed this podcast, make sure you smash that like button to let us know that you're enjoying the content being provided to you guys on this channel. Comment in the comments section below on what your favorite pops were from this week. Press the subscribe button for more content like this podcast and any other videos we do on this channel in the future. And press the little bell beside it to be notified of when that future content gets released. And also, if you haven't yet, follow us on all of our social media platforms on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at A Funko Popcast. It'll be listed in the description below. But anyways, guys, thank you all for listening to this week's podcast, and we hope to see you guys next week for what will be the top 10 Funko Pops of July 2020. 1, 2, 3, I'm out of here.
Peace in. Peace out.